Well, the difference is God's hand on this ministry. And we had some good chaplains, but when Mindy came along, Mindy had phenomenal organizational skills and a vision that I don't think even at the time that she knew how big it was going to be. And it wasn't to be big for the sake of being big. It was just that because of her ministry to the officers and to the community and the growth of the chaplaincy, it just took off. And it wasn't long after that that other agencies wanted to have a chaplaincy program the same as Sacramento County had. And now you can see how it has blossomed out. But I think Mindy was the right person who came along that had the talent and the skills. You may not know this, but she used to sing at every event. And so Mindy would preach and she would sing. She did weddings, she did funerals. And I think the chaplaincy endeared itself to the officers because there was no judgment, no condemnation. There were people who had never been inside of a church that heard about the Lord for the first time through the chaplaincy. There were people that came to know Christ through the chaplaincy. And Mindy never turned anybody down because they didn't have a faith. I mean, she was there to serve. She was God's anointed, and she never turned her nose on anything. She never looked down on anybody. She just loved, loved, loved. And that was probably the basic reason, one of the basic reasons, aside from all of the organizational skills, that the chaplaincy was so successful, because everybody knew when they made contact with Mindy and then with Frank and the other chaplains who were trained under her, that they genuinely cared and they loved. And it filled a huge void in the community. When I came into law enforcement, we had a police psychologist, Dr. Coles, and he would do critical incident debriefing. But the chaplaincy was also there at the officer side in the field. They would do follow-up. They would do one-on-one with the officers. And the chaplaincy became a safe place. They could come in and they could talk to Mindy about anything, and they didn't have to worry about being disciplined. They didn't have to worry about how people were going to view them. They could be honest about their feelings. And I think that's why the chaplaincy is such an important and successful program.